Hello everyone and welcome to the OBS training for beginners. First, we're going to be setting up our system for OBS live streaming for our churches or events. The first thing we want to do is actually get the OBS software into our system. Whatever software or whatever system you are using, Windows 7, 10, Windows 11, you should be able to install the OBS software. So first of what we want to do is just open up our browser. Then in the search bar, or you can just go to Google, you can just type in OBS. It's pretty popular. We see the first website that comes up, obsproject.com. We're just going to click on it. Now, as you can see here, we have different versions for different platforms. We have the Windows version, Mac OS, and then so depending on your operating system or your computer, choose which one is best. Okay, my system is a Windows system, so I'm going to click on Windows. Now it's already bringing up the installation for me to download. I'm just going to create a place for it to be saved. I have downloaded it a lot of times, so I'm just going to be creating a folder just to put it. And this gives me the latest version, which is version 31.2. I'm just going to wait a while for this to download. Okay, so it's just finished downloading, as we can have it here. So I'm just going to go into that folder. Here I have the software already, so I'm just going to double click on it to begin the installation process. Okay, so basically I'm just going to be clicking next. Okay, next again. Install. So this should take a couple of seconds. Okay, so here I'm just going to launch the OBS software. So on first launch, this is what we're going to have. Sometimes you'll be prompted for an update, but you can just quickly skip this for now. Okay, so don't be overwhelmed with these configuration settings. You can always change them. The first one says optimize for streaming, optimize just for recording. Then I will only be using the virtual camera. So what you want to do, just click on the first option, optimize for streaming. Okay, so these are just video settings. You may or may not have this pop-up. Just click on next. Now auto configuration, for this we're just going to cancel this. Okay, you don't need to begin to connect your YouTube or anything. Yes, let's just get done with knowing about the interface. Okay, now we have our interface before us. This section here is what we refer to as the scene section, the sources section, audio mixer, scene transition, and controls. One of the first things you want to learn about the interface is these particular sections below here. One interesting thing about OBS is the different setups that you have. After closing your software and reopening it, you still have those setups or settings saved. Okay, so let's take a simple scenario where we have a church, we have a pulpit section, we have the choir, and we also have the congregation. For this example, we'll just be setting up 3 phones, one that faces the pastor, one that faces the congregation, and another the choir. So let's set up the first scene. I'm going to call them scenes. So automatically we have one scene already added here. We can right click on it and say rename. So here I'm just going to call it front stage. Okay, in each of these scenes we can add what we call sources. These sources could be images, they could be logos, they could be background videos, they could be camera feed or they could be audio feeds. Okay, let's add another scene here. We're going to call this audience. Okay, for each of these scenes we'll be designating the cameras or the audios that will go with these scenes. So first off, what we want to do right now is add some images so we can fully understand what we're talking about. So in the area of sources, I can click on the add button. I have a lot of things I could add here, but we're going to be going with one of the simplest, which is images. I'm just going to click on image. It's going to tell us, okay, what do we want to name this image? I can just call it wallpaper, okay, and say okay. Now the next phase is going to ask me, where do I want to get this particular image from or background? I'm just going to browse, go into my pictures, look for a beautiful picture, and just select that. Now this section, I can just adjust this to cover my screen. Place that in the center and I'm good to go. Okay, so on the front stage we have this. On the audience, we could just add another image. I can just call this wallpaper 2. Now notice I could repeat the same element for different scenes. I already have a wallpaper and it's actually telling me, do you want to use the existing, which I'm going to say no, I'm using this one. I'm actually going to give you a beautiful scenario where you want to repeat the different images. So I'm going to head over to select another picture just to make it different. Okay, I'm going to hit OK. Adjust this as I want. So now on the first stage, front stage, I have this image, I have this image. The next thing I want to do now is, how do I make a little bit of logo at the top left or right corner here? Okay, I'm going to be using my logo and it's the same procedure, but this time around not a wallpaper, it's a logo. I'm going to head over to my front stage and we're going to make this logo appear on the different scenes. I'm going to click on the add symbol. I'm going to head over to also image. I'm going to come here and say logo, okay, and say okay. Now let's go ahead and select our logo. Just look for your logo, which already should be already predefined or designed. I'm just going to look for my logo. Okay, here I have my logo. I'm going to click OK. Now my logo has been attached, but it's quite big. I'm just going to reduce this until I get what I want. I'm going to place this at this corner. Okay, there I have it. Now if you notice, for the front stage I have a logo, for the audience I don't have the logo. So to add that, I'm just going to click on add. I'm going to come out over to image. I'm going to click on add existing and I'm going to click on logo again and OK. I'm just going to adjust this properly to how I want it. You can take note of the dimension, so it's always the same, or the position also. So here I have a logo, here I also have a logo. So this is just a simple illustration of what we could add. In the next video, we're going to talk about what we need to set up so we can add camera feeds and audio into our setup. Thank you very much.